So good evening and welcome to Motivational Monday. It looks like they changed the process on Zoom and upgraded it. I'm having trouble seeing that I'm recording. Oh no, there it is. Okay, yes. So again, welcome to Motivational Monday with Luann P. I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm in this great energy space and I look forward to sharing it with you. I'm so glad to see some people on live with us tonight because that's really what this is meant to be about. You know, I was meditating just before this and remembering how many amazing gifts that I've been given, where people have gifted me a coaching call or a program or an opportunity, and I am so blessed and grateful for all of those opportunities. And these Motivational Monday calls are my way of paying it forward and offering you that same opportunity to get online with me for free on Monday evenings and get some inspiration for the week. I always remember that my Sunday evenings and Mondays were my greatest struggle historically because I was all full of anxiety of what had yet to be accomplished or didn't get accomplished over the weekend and what needed to be done in the week. And so I was always tense in those days. So that's why I picked Mondays for these calls to get out of that energy space and into a positive energy space to make a positive impact in their week. So I also wanted to tell you a quick story. I had a client this afternoon, and he said to me when he was leaving, he goes, you know, I always dread coming here. It's like, I don't want to have to look at myself. You know, I don't want to have to do this work, but I always leave feeling awesome. And I'm like, and that's why we're going to keep meeting every Monday afternoon to help you get through your week and shift that mind space. So this evening, another reason I'm so excited is that I have a guest speaker, my coach, because we all need coaches to help us. I can't coach myself. I can coach you, but I can't coach myself. And so my coach, Tanya Villar, who I've been working with for the last year, is joining us this evening because she has this great new 40-day challenge program that she's going to run. I'm going to participate in it with you, and I want to bring my friends along to experiencing the amazing transformations that you can get from doing the work that Tanya has been doing with me. So I now see a picture, Gail. I see it looks like a couch. I hope that we'll get to hear from you this evening. There is a chat box. If you click on the bottom, there's a little button that says chat, and you can type in that if you're having challenges so I can try and help you. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it over to Tanya a little bit to get us started while I try and help Gail. How's that?
That sounds like an awesome idea, Luann. Okay, so as Luann had shared with you, like she and I have been having extraordinary conversations, not only as her coach, but also as another professional in this field. You know, someone who has spent a lot of time and energy. Like she and I both have been dedicated to personal growth, the personal growth industry for over 30 years. So we've attended way more workshops than we've ever written. And so when you consider how much time and dedication and finances we have invested, sometimes it's hard for us to receive. You know, as a healer, as someone whose first instinct is going to be to help someone else. It is, if you're struggling with money, if you're having a financial crisis, such as losing your home, or your debt is so high you don't know what to do, what is going on is that your soul is trying to get you to slow down. And to slow down in a way to see where you have put yourself last. So what I help Luann see is how to prioritize her actions in a day. Like pretty much my background, just to let you know, is I've been into not only personal growth, but as my first degree is in speech therapy, I'm a linguist. So one of the things that I've done for many years is trained other life coaches on how to read body language, exact words. And what happens is your words correlate directly to what you believe subconsciously. And I can teach you, like I taught Luann how to read her own words. Like I said on the intro video, I've taught myself how to calm down and receive unbelievable wealth. See the words, unbelievable wealth. You know, how do you allow yourself to relax enough to align with your royalty, your royal self? So a lot of what I help people do and what I help Luann do is look on her posture when she sits. You know, like, how are you carrying yourself? You know, it's simple things like that. When you keep taking those baby steps, when you walk like a queen, talk like a queen, dress like a queen, then what occurs is you start activating your charmed life. And what's going on neurologically is you are developing a new neural pathway. You go from...
Let's just point out, we talk about all the time in the work with the passion test, for those of you who are listening who've been through that work with me, right, is that we can reprogram the neural pathways of our brain. And what Tanya's talking about is tools to help you do that. And it's about consciously being aware of the words that you're saying, the body language that you're using. You'd be amazed if you start having someone parrot back to you what you're really saying to yourself. I had a writer's retreat this weekend, and the ladies at the writer's retreat, for all of them, I hope they're listening. It was fabulous. We had a great time. But we decided at the very beginning that we were going to hold each other accountable for using positive language and only speaking positively about ourselves. And so we created a code word, pineapple. That anytime anybody started saying something negative about themselves, or, you know, I can't do that, or I didn't do this, or whatever, it's like pineapple, so that they would go, oh, and they would reframe what they were saying.
That was fun, man.
It was really fun, and it was a great idea. But again, I think they were very shocked at how many times it happened that they were actually doing that to themselves over and over again. That we, and many people listening, I'm sure you would feel the same way, that we say the most terrible things to ourselves. Amen. And we put ourselves in the wrong energy space. So get your little head back up there.
Yeah, but I wanted to say this. Instead of the head, okay, I want to show this, excuse me. Instead of the head, I think, Luann, what I want to explain, because really what I mean, all of this, like the details about the head and everything, I have on free challenges on my website. And I go into a lot of detail about limbic systems and how our brains create the stories. And then our ocular nerve is right back here. So then we think we see that. And then we get freaked out by it. And then we run away from it. And so this whole illusion thing is going on because your optical nerve is at the base of this story-making machine. And so what I can do is I listen to language, and I show you how you tend to use the same words over and over again. Same, you'll notice you have the same verbs you use all the time. And on the Activate Your Calling radio show, which I post after every week, it's up there. It's going up there tonight. The show I just did last week, I showed all the different words that, like, if you're overweight, these words, people speak these words, and it's all this study on the different words that different people use frequently. And you can tell by their speech if you really have wealth, you know. And so what I'm saying is, in listening to your words and then applying, this is a great book for everybody. It's Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf. And what's really great about what she puts in here, she explains what's called in quantum physics. And this is why what Luann has experienced is a quantum shift. A quantum shift is simply a veil has been lifted off of your perception, because you neurologically daily with little steps consistently, decided you were going to be happy, if only for 15 minutes every day. But it's right when you open up your eyes, that's when your brain cells start, waking up. So you want to nourish your brain with all that positive juices of the endorphins by imagining wonderful things. And you do that in the morning by singing and moving your body. And what happens is your body starts saying, I can do this. And the body's language starts to shift. When we imagine these huge things, they're so big, it freezes our bodies, especially healers. Especially who I say the other sensitive people that can feel energy in a room and people that know what other people are thinking. We're so sensitive to energy that if we try to begin on a project that big, we will freeze ourselves to where we have our foot on the accelerator and the brake. We're so excited, but we can't move. Does that relate? Can anyone relate? What do you think? Yeah.
I absolutely relate. And I've seen that in me physically in moments, right? When we get stuck and we don't move forward on anything because we've overwhelmed with the vision,
Yeah, and because we're visionaries, no one trained you how to set time for your visions, and structure your day in such a loving way that it mirrors your soul style. And that's what is coming out with Luann. As she told you, this show, Motivational Mondays, came from within her out during the coaching. Like the things she felt most real and connected about with people. And because you see the internet, everyone who wants to get on the internet and have a cottage industry and write and have people follow you and everything, it is the quickest highway of energy. So the more authentic you are as you step on, the more success and the more your confidence is going to build. If you're on the internet for money, you're going to crash and burn. But if you step on there because you have a message that's coming from your heart, like this one's coming from Luann's heart, then what's going to happen is your tribe just starts to assemble because it's a frequency.
Oh my gosh, thanks for that one again. That's such a good reminder. One of the writers that I was working with this weekend, and she'll know who she is when she listens to this, she has a very unique story to tell about her experience growing up in a cult. And part of her is afraid to write the story because she doesn't want to alienate her family who still believes in some of those things. And I'm like, you know what? You don't even have to publish it. You don't have to write it and get it in the frequency. You can share it with people personally to get in the frequency of sharing and releasing that information. So that's so cool, right? It put her in the frequency. So she knows who I'm talking about. I'm sure she'll listen to this, even though she's not on with us right now. I got to tell you, though, see, here's the other thing about frequency, right? Tanya and I have been drawn together. Okay? We met through some other people, but Tanya and I are drawn to one another because we're operating on the same frequency. And the funny thing is, a sign of that is that book in her hand. I read that book a year ago, November. It was gifted to me. I was so excited when I first started reading it. I went out and got the audio version so I can listen to it in my car because there's so much intense quality information in that book. So it came up over the Writers Retreat weekend as well. I encouraged everyone to read that book by Dr. Carolyn Lee.
This part, let me say this.
Yeah,
this
please.
is the magic key, okay, to activating. If you're frustrated right now, that's all right. What's going on right now with any kind of illusion you have. I'm not saying to act like it's not there. Now, this isn't like the ostrich stuff where I say, stick your hand and say in that sand and say, everything is okay. Everything is okay. Mm-mm. what I suggest and how I guided Luann into more of her magnificence is I had her be honest with herself every morning, as you are in any of the things I have in there. You be honest with yourself. You put it in a journal, and then you check out what you're saying. You know, that's your secret stuff. I don't mean secret like it's bad, but it's your private stuff. You get to work with that with friends, close friends, in your prayer closet. Because if you're going to speak it with a group of women, a group of powerful women can change the world, and a group of powerful women bitching can ruin it. Okay, the same power of our beautiful words, we have the same power to destroy. And not that that's good nor bad. It's just, you just want to aware that it's that powerful.
I think that's really powerful statement, because historically, hanging out with a bunch of women, we have a tendency to get catty and be ugly and gossipy and negative about other things. And it's sort of this like gathering your army to all complain about the same things. And then what are we doing? We're impacting everybody's results based on that negative conversation. Oh, so good.
And that's why this 40-day thing is so exciting, and why Luann and I are so thrilled by it. It's because of the quantum Zeno effect. Okay, listen to this. And of course, I'm reading for Miss Carolyn Leaf. Okay, but she's so good. I would have written this book, but she did it for me. I'm so glad. I love quantum physics, because if you read her bio, I have almost the same bio. It freaked me out. It's so good. I love quantum physics, but the quantum physics principle that really caught my attention is called quantum Zeno effect, also known as QZE. We needed to know that. It is repeated effort that causes learning to take place. Okay? If you want a new life, it's the repeated small step in that direction every day, and the noticing, oh my gosh, it's coming true, instead of, oh my God, I got bills to pay. You just like a total shift into, I see what I want is here. I asked for it yesterday and it's here, even if it's this much. You are practicing every day, not believing or going by sight. You're going by knowing. And what happens when you study your words, you get to know what you're knowing. You see, the whole thing is, if I would have known 2 years ago that I was supposed to be leading the International Divine Charm School, I'd have been doing it. I didn't know what I knew. Life squeezed me. Gonna take my house away. You know, I don't have any money anymore. Where did all my money go? It's like I had all this money, and then where is it? Well, because at that final stage, when we are aligning totally up and having that quantum shift, when you're really ready to move from running that limbic system, stories of victim and all that kind of stuff, and you're ready to go to your frontal lobe and live from here every day, then that's when you sit down and you look at your words and you see how you got there. And you love yourself the whole time. And that's usually the hard part. We get how it works. But to have another woman that's walking it with you, that loves you through it, that can be there and hear you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I said all this. Because when the veil first comes off, it's a little shocking. However, once you do it enough times, I started getting to, if I started, or something not fun was coming across my field of vision, I could easily say, this is such an illusion, and ignore it and gently, lovingly walk away from it instead of trying to figure it out. So it's the discernment of what's real and what you want to continually to make real. And so you don't so much as argue it or analyze it anymore, as much as you drop it like a hot mic and go, I'm going over here. I said, I want this many clients. I'm over here today. That's all I see. Okay. So it's more of how do you do it? And you can actually practice depending on who you are and how you learn. I can listen to your words. And in this 40-day, yes, you can follow me along. 40-day, March 1st, the biggest. It's Lent, people. Everybody that's Catholic is going to be doing a 40-day. I'm kind of Catholic. I was started Catholic, I'm all kinds of stuff. But what I'm telling you is that the 40-day process, no matter how you cut it, is one of the most transformational processes you can do. It's in ancient scripture. It's in the Bible. It's everywhere. But what usually people do, they get tired around day 20, okay? And also, one of the things I don't think is too cool, and that's why I want to do it different, is we try to restrict something from our lives, which will only multiply the problem, okay? And instead of that, I want to cheer. Let us all cheer ourselves on for 40 days.
So I want to share a little story again, and then I want you to tell everybody what's going to be included in the 40 days.
Okay.
This 40 days is going to be so important. And I have been through 40-day processes before with Tanya and her team from the Money and Life Freedom course. And this is just such a great opportunity. I'm so excited for her to share it with you. But what I want to tell you is that I was challenged last year, beginning in July, with my mortgage payment. And Tanya was coaching me. Thank you, God, for Tanya coaching me about the illusion. And so the universe is really not the universe, the mortgage companies are really very threatening when you're in that circumstance. And Tanya talked me through the illusion of they're purposely doing that to scare me, right? And I don't need to be afraid of them because it's all going to work out. It took, so I didn't run away from it. I stood comfortably in it and said, I'm going to face it. I'm going to have the conversations, not going to run away from it, but I'm going to take it slow and easy, right? Slow down, have the conversation. It's okay. And took 6 months for me to work through the process with them. And it all came out okay, right? They've modified my loan. They've reduced my payments. I still have all the equity in my house. In fact, way more than I thought I had. Which now I'm looking at as all that money's in the bank, because it is. It happens to be sitting in my house, but all I'd have to do is sell it and I could collect all that money. And so there's a total shift. Instead of operating in fear that I didn't have enough money, that the mortgage company was coming after me, that I might lose my house, I went, it's going to be okay. Slow down. Go through the process, take a nap. That's right. Take a nap. Slow down, sleep, right? And it all worked out. And I'm so blessed that Tanya is in my life to help me see the illusions that, in fact, society puts in place to try and put us into fear. And you know, like when you go, I don't know if society's doing it so much, you know, Luann, I had to say something about that. It's just that it's part of life. You know, I was working with one of my clients, and I think maybe this might help explain it a little bit better. I don't care what you call that source of oneness. I don't care if you call it God. I don't care if you call it love. I don't care what you call it. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, you know you're connected to it. And you also know that you're a messenger of some sort. And you also know you always believed in either fairies or angels or something very ethereal, very spirit-driven. And you don't understand how you know things sometimes, and you know them. And so all of these things are your personal experience of life. You're in a web. And this all-powerful source that we want to think is Santa Claus in the sky, or somebody that if we're good, we get goodies. If we're bad, we get punished. That's all however you were raised. That's all limbic system stories. And when you begin
to utter I am statements with the tone of certainty. Your ears shift, your eyes shift, your neurons start clicking a little differently, and it says, oh, she's ready now to see the truth. And then that's when you start seeing that we're right here, right now, in a place that is like paradise, if only you but see it.
Right.
Okay, so I usually don't like to say society made me go through that, because honestly, it was kind of fun. Now that I'm on this side of it, I'm like, whoo, that was some scary shit. That was some scary shit.
So in order to get the support you need to walk through the fire and into the bliss, it's really what we're talking about. And being and you said this to me in one of the meditations you sent me, right? To learn how life can flow at your feet rather than feeling like you're pushing a boulder uphill.
Yes. I mean,
I love that. So
look, and one of the things we'll share in the 40-day coaching is I will talk about tone. We'll do a whole thing on your tone of voice and how tone of voice carries like 70% of what you're saying. So if you just get sassy every morning and look at yourself in the mirror and go, oh, don't be jealous, I'd be looking so good. And you do that to yourself every morning. And what happens is you can look at my videos earlier and look at mine now. I'm seeing a total transformation in what I look like. I'm 55 years old and I am feeling younger, moving like a younger woman, because I am saying every morning, I am lavish, I am majestic, and I am splendid. And so when I say that, my body, which is water, is going to start forming around my words, because that beautiful field of love is right here. Whatever I say starts to form. And the tone and the passion and the vim and the vigor that I insert into the words compress the atoms, you know? So that's how we create with our words. So now that it's actually very freeing, huh, Luann, when you figure, oh, all I have to do is change some words in my tone and shake my butt a little bit and get some stuck energy out of my tailbone.
Stuck energy out of the root chakra.
Got scared. I kind of like tuck my tail under. I just need to loosen that tailbone a bit. And you mean I could like connect to bliss and live there for the rest of my life?
So Tanya, we've got about 6 minutes left.
Yes.
So I want you to get to what's going to happen in the 40 days.
Okay.
Because that's so important. And
yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, Gail.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
I have an observation. Tanya, you are so European. You are. You're like French, and that's a good thing for where you live. And Luann, sweetheart, you're Minnesota.
I am.
You're Mary Tyler Moore, throwing your hat up in the air.
Don't you love that about her?
And I love the way that you're connected, because your energy blends totally.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane.
And I think that's amazing. I think it's totally amazing. Tanya, one other question. Could you read the name of the book that you were talking about?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I can write it down.
It's Switch on Your Brain. And it's by Dr. Caroline Leaf.
Okay.
It's excellent, Diane. You'll enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Tanya, back to the 40 days. What's going to happen?
Okay. So 40 days, what I'll do, everyone, we're only going to do no more than 17 people. Okay, because I want to work with a small group. We were talking earlier about, I was trying to figure out the logistics, if we could do 17. I think we can. What do you think?
We have 5 minutes. I'm just wondering.
Okay, so basically a small group during the 40 days. You get a weekly coaching session with me in the Zoom room. I also do a science and soul reading, which is a $350 value for everyone that signs up.
Individually.
Individually.
That's done first individually.
Yep. And I write a summary of your verbs and all those things, and I sit down and have a session with you, a 1-hour session with you. So it's a $350 value. And that way, during the 40 days, I'm guiding you specifically and creating meditations just for you specifically, using words that are your power words. Okay, so that's what I'm bringing to it. Luann will be coaching with me on the Zoom calls, and then everyone that chooses to keep their story after we record all these, because everyone will have amazing transformations in this 40-day process. And if you want to inspire someone else and stay in, that I can make it into a download as a program to inspire other people, then you would also receive money and every time it gets downloaded. So that way, we're all collectively healers, right? Luann and I came up with this, and we all do a little bit, and it helps multiply. This is how we multiply money. Okay? And you help people. And if you're an author or you're a writer and you're wanting to get on the internet, then this is a great lead thing. Once it's edited and you decide to keep your story in there, and even if there's things you share when we're in the Zoom room and you say, I don't want that in, we'll take it out. You know, it'll just be the key things, because every time a collective comes together, we have a theme. And every theme of women, so the women that come together will have a theme, we'll have something we're breaking through together as a group. And so we'll also pray together once, and I'll send you daily emails. So these are the things that you'll get for the 40 days. And it's $170. And if you're interested, I sent Luann the link. I know we've got to go. We got 2 minutes, whatever.
Did you send me the link?
I did. I forwarded it. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I forwarded it to PMC events, so you can forward it out in a constant contact. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Tanya, how much did you say it was for the
$170.
Okay, great.
It's a great offer. I'm only making
it. Sign up.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. We'll send you the link. We're going to have so much fun, Gail. We're going to have so much fun. I can't wait to do the reading.
That's Diane that's talking, but yes.
Diane, sorry. I'm reading something and talking. Thank you, Diane.
You have the link that you could put it in the chat right now?
Yes, I can.
So do that for Diane and Gail, who are right here on with us.
Okay.
And then when I send out this recording to others, I will include it in there as well in my constant contact. So anyone who's listening, look for the link in the email where you found this recording.
Yes,
on Facebook.
It's actually really cool. We call it the 40-Day Challenge Spring 2017. So this is the link right here. I just put it in there.
Great.
There it is.
Tanya, I love your energy. I do.
Thank you. I've developed it. I used to weigh 400 pounds too. Can you believe that?
Oh, dear. I had bariatric surgery. I'm 5 feet tall and I weighed 240.
Girl, me too. So we got a lot in common.
You got it.
Fantastic. All right, so I'm looking for let's see, now we only have room for 15 more women who want to make a dramatic shift in your life in just 40 days for just $170.
You can't beat that.
You can't beat that. No. It's an awesome, awesome deal, and you get to hang out with Tanya and I for 40 days. I mean, I'm so excited about just the private session.
I know.
Your first hour. If you do nothing else, you get an hour with Tanya personally. So that is so huge. So Thank you for offering us that gift, Tanya.
You bet, Luann, because we're going to bust through this thing. We're busting through it, girl.
We're busting through it.
Taking people with us. Come on. Let's do it.
You got it. I'm signing up now. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yay. Thank you. And you're going to receive a welcome letter and a call from me and all of that. Okay, Diane, this week.
That's wonderful.
Okay, before we get cut off by the system, I want to send love and prayers to everyone. Oh, and I'm going